Hi, Kayla. Sorry to take so long to get back to you. I missed this last night. I didn't see it come in my emails. I'm just wondering when I look at this question whether or not you have had derivative rules yet or not. So I'm not quite sure how to proceed on the second part of this question. I'm going to do the first part for you and get started, and then I'll explain to you what I mean, okay? So if they want the equation of the secant line through the points, then all you have to do is actually get your y values. If x equals 25, then y is the root of 25. And if x equals 36, then y is the root of 36. And that equals 6. Now we'll just assume that they want just the positive roots here, because we just need 2 points. And so what it does is it gives us 2 points. It gives us x equals 25, y equals 5, and x equals 36, and y equals 6. So in order to find the equation of the secant line, it's just the line between these 2 points. Then the first thing we need is our slope, which is delta y over delta x. And so delta y is 6 take away 5. And delta x is 36 take away 25. So we end up with a slope of 1 over 11. And then if we're going to put this into y equals mx plus b, you might be doing it the other way, where you have the x minus your value equals m. Why am I saying it? I can write it. Sorry. X minus one of your values, so like 25, equals 1 over 11 times y minus the y value, which is 5 for that point. It works out exactly the same. Most students are a little bit more familiar with y equals mx plus b from their high school years. So what we're going to do is substitute in the x and the y that go together. So y is 5 when x is 25. And we know m because m is 1 over 11. We worked that out already. And so when we work this out, we'll make 5 into 55 over 11, because that's the equivalent fraction with a denominator of 11. And then we have 25 over 11 plus b. So b, if we take this over to the other side and subtract, b is 55 over 11 minus 25 over 11, or 30 over 11. And so our final answer for the equation of the secant is y equals 1 over 11x plus 30 over 11, which you may also see written with the 11 multiplied through everywhere. So you would see that as negative 1x plus 11y minus 30 equals 0. That's the standard form of the equation of the line, and this one here is called the general form of the equation of the line. So that's how you find the secant. Now, it asks you to find the tangent, the equation of the tangent line, when x has the first value. And that's where I'm just not perfectly clear on whether or not you've had derivative rules or not. So I'm going to assume that you have not, and that you're still using that formula that we were talking about last week with the x plus a little bit. And I'm going to do it that way for you, okay? Hopefully I'm right about that. Let me just go to another page. Okay, so if we want the equation of the tangent right at the exact point x equals 25, then our x1 is going to be 25, and our x2 is going to be 25 plus a little bit more. So I'll use an h just to represent that little bit more. The y1 is going to be 5, and the y2 is going to be the square root of 25 plus h, because we would have to put that x value in the square root function to get our y value. And so the equation, the slope of our equation of our line is going to be the limit as h approaches 0 of y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, which always comes out to just h. Here we have to multiply the top and the bottom by root 25 plus h plus 5. We do the same on the bottom because we have to keep the whole thing equal, and this is just really 1, this whole fraction here. This is a process called rationalizing. And so here we're going to take the limit as h approaches 0, and we're going to multiply this bracket by this bracket. We're going to get 25 plus h if we square the square root. And then when we multiply this times positive 5 and this times negative 5, those will cancel out, and we'll end up with minus 25 for the minus 5 times plus 5. And on the bottom, we're not going to bother writing any of that out. We're just going to write what we have and wait. So we have 25 minus 25 equals 0. And so we have lim as h approaches 0 of h over h times that bracket. Those h's now cross out, which allows me to put h equals 0 into the formula. And so I had 25 plus h, that's going to be 25 plus 0. And so I end up with 1 over 5 plus 5, or 1 over 10 for the slope of the line at that exact value of x equals 25. So if you want to find your equation of the line, you're going to do it the same way that we did on the secant question. We are going to, sorry, I'm hesitating because I just moved part of that up, but the other part didn't move. Let me do a different color so it's clear. We have y equals mx plus b again. Oops, sorry. And so we know that y is 5 when x is 25, and the slope is 1 over 10. So we can easily calculate b. 5 equals, and if we put this in lowest terms, we get 5 over 2 plus b. And so it's obvious that b has to be equal to 5 over 2, which is, 5, which is 10 over 2, minus 5 over 2. So b equals 5 over 2. So that leaves us with the equation y equals 1 over 10 x plus 5 over 2. You may find it in the back of your book with everything multiplied by 10 to get rid of the fraction. The common denominator for 2 and 10 would be 10. In that case, we would end up with, let me just write that over here, negative x plus 10y minus 25 equals 0. I gotta squeeze that in there, sorry about that. Okay, I'll have to make you a second video for the second question because this video has already gone long enough.